80 years ago, in 1940, there was a professor named James Edwin Orr. He was a lecturer in Wheaton College in Illinois. And one day, he decided to take his students on a tour in England of the big major Christianity sites that were there. One of those being the home of John Wesley, called the Epworth Rectory. Now, John Wesley was a very influential Christian. He was a very, very strong believer, and he prayed for revival, not just in his home country, England, but in the great country of America. It is because of him that we have the two Great Awakenings. The First Great Awakening and the Second Great Awakening. Both of these awakenings were from the 1700s to the 1800s. The first one was in the 1700s and the second one was in the 1800s. And they led many to Jesus Christ. The revivals in England, Wesley's home country, were also very successful in bringing people to Jesus Christ. Wesley's prayers were very, very influential to these revivals and awakenings. So it is very important and necessary that Orr had his students stop there. They got off the bus and walked into the front room. They went into the kitchen. This is where the great man ate. The students looked in awe as they saw the pots and pans and utensils that Wesley would use to cook his meals. After staying there for a short while, Orr took his students into the study, where John Wesley would study. He would read books. Yeah, there was a little table there with some books on there that he, like a good replica. And the students were touching everything, feeling it, really getting into the history. And then they went upstairs. There on the second floor, there was a bedroom. This bedroom was the bedroom of John Wesley. It was a very small room, so the students had to file around it. And once they did, one student noticed that there were dents in the floor. Literal wood impressions in the wooden floor. Orr told them that those were the great man Wesley prayed. He got up each day and planted his knees on the floor for hours on end each day. He prayed so long and so hard that his knees left the impressions in the wooden floor. Silence filled the room. The students decided to retreat. One by one, they went down the stairs, through the study, out the kitchen, and into the bus. Once they all were in, Professor Orr decided to do a head count. He realized that one student was missing. He must have been so annoyed. But maybe he realized the student was in the study. So he went to the study through the kitchen. Nobody was in there. There was only one place left that he could be, the bedroom. Professor Orr walked into the bedroom from the stairs and noticed the figure of a student, praying in the prayer dance. He prayed, "Lord, do it again, and do it again with me." Professor Orr told the student gently that it was time to go. And Billy Graham got up, walked downstairs, and went on the bus. Professor Orr lived a long life and died in 1987 in the good state of North Carolina, my home state.
Yeah.
He was a great teacher on revival, and he did get to see the Lord do it again. Thank you very much. No applause?
That's good.
Yeah. Bye-bye.